Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. Or it could be Tavern Rant today. I guess I'm going to be in a little bit of a rant. I will apologize up front. Maybe not. It's going to have adult language, so if you have young children, if you haven't learned this already, I was a cop for 20 years in New York City. Saying I talk like a sailor would be inaccurate. I talk like a New York City police officer. There will be F-bombs throughout this, I am quite sure. So if you have young children or you yourself might be offended, now is the time to turn off the volume and walk away. All right. So what am I talking about today? Some members of our community are some of the most spoiled, entitled biatches I have ever encountered in my 53 years of living. And now where's this coming from? Well, Eric Fabiacci? Stitchery and sorcery. I can't even think about it right now what the name of the blog is. But Eric has picked up pretty much the old Tavern banner, multiple blog posts a day. And he had a player from his in-person group tell him, announce, I'm leaving the group to play in another group because, well, your blog isn't OSR enough. You don't put enough content up on it. You don't put enough effort into the games that you run. You don't prepare them enough. And so, I'm leaving. What the fuck? Right? I mean, the person that's leaving, right? Are they adding anything to the experience? No. Are they blogging? No. Are they producing content? No. Are they putting up podcasts on YouTube? No. Eric puts up multiple blog posts a day, and this fucktard wasn't good enough. You're not doing enough, Eric. Just not doing enough. And again, this is the same hobby, the same community where we have people bitch and complain. Oh my God, they're putting out Jeff's putting out a third edition of Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerer's Hyperborea. I mean, the second edition just came out like in 2018. That's like last year. No, we're in 2021. Well, but I mean, why? If you don't want to buy a new edition, don't buy a new edition. And yes, you have a right to bitch and complain, but some people are just, all they are is fucking negative. All right? Have I experienced it? Of course. Anytime something changes, I get people that complain. I've been doing a podcast for 3 years. Okay? I've been doing these YouTubes solidly now for the last 6 months. Right? These YouTube videos. And now there is a very vocal minority who feel that the blog side is not getting the same content that this side is getting. And therefore, I'm doing a disservice to my customers. I'm going to give you a moment of silence on that one. A disservice to my customers. I am not treating my customers well. I'm thrilled that you feel that you're paying for content, but most likely you're not. Right? This isn't behind a paywall. The vast majority of the funds that the Tavern raises is by affiliate sales. There's no gun to your head. There's no requirement to buy anything. If you find something that you like, there's an affiliate link, which I've announced, but there's an affiliate link on the blog. You go and you make a purchase. And most of that money goes back to the community. So you're not a customer. All right, if you buy Torchlight, are you a customer? To some extent. But then you bitch and complain about Torchlight. Don't bitch and complain about YouTube. YouTube was out there. I make no money off this. YouTube makes me no money. I do this because I'm part of the community. I do this because I want to share it with the community. Why do I blog? Because I want to share with the community. I'm not doing this for a customer base. I'm doing it for community. And when members of that community come off with attitude, it gets people that are doing things for gratis, right? For free. You're like, why am I spending my time? Because I'm spending time, right? Not everything has a cost. For you, you're spending your time watching this or listening to this on the podcast. That's your cost. My cost is prepping for this. My cost is recording this. My cost is uploading this. It's time. Okay? And the background cost, StreamYard, my virtual green screen, my equipment, good headset, when I'm doing live streams, a good speaker, a good microphone. I have a cost. Am I getting stuff back for it? No. Hopefully I'm getting back goodwill. But when you don't even get goodwill back, it pisses you off. And why is that? Okay? Why is that? Because, let's be honest, I worked retail. Before I was a cop, I worked retail for 8.5 years at a major department store in New York City. And when you do great, when you do an awesome job and you go beyond, that's great. The customer's happy and they leave happy, right? Do they send a letter? No. I mean, I've thought about it when, hey, my hospitalizations, I thought about sending a letter thanking the hospital, thanking the staff. When you're walking out, maybe you think about it. And then 2 weeks later, you're at home going, oh, I never sent that letter, right? But if you were pissed, if you felt that they weren't doing what they should have done, you send that letter, right? So really the only feedback most people get, most creators get, especially the ones that aren't getting paid, is negative. Or of the 95% of the people that enjoy your content and the 5% that think you're a fucktard, it's the 5% that think they're a fucktard that you are going to hear about, and I'm going to speak up in the community, and everybody else is going to be like, oh, I don't know why they're saying such about Eric. I like his blog, but you don't hear about them. Because being happy is not a motivation, right? Being happy is a state. But being annoyed, being the victim. I'm a victim because I'm not getting the same content on the blog that's being produced for the YouTube channel. I'm a victim because Jeff, how dare he update something to the point where it's got to be a new edition. And sure, it's going to be fully backwards compatible. I'm under no obligation to buy anything. I can still use everything I have and all the adventures going forward, the material that I currently have. But I'm a victim because Jeff is putting out a 3rd edition, right? I'm a victim because Eric Fabriacci is not doing enough content for me, right? He's not doing the content that I want. He might be doing content that he wants, right? He might be doing content that pleases 98% of the community that reads it. But because of one asshole, again, one fucktard, who do you hear from? And here's the other issue. Or one of the other issues. Part of the problems with gamers is gamers often, I'm making a general statement. And usually as gamers get older, it gets better, but not always. But I think more gamers, as a percentage of the gaming community, have socialization issues compared to the general population. Part of the reason why we're gamers, to like overcome it, right? I was naturally shy, believe it or not. And becoming a gamer helped me get past that. Some, and dare I call them basement dwellers, don't get out of the basement and don't know how to interact with people, don't know how to say, Eric, I really like your blog, your Citrus blog, but I would love it if you could do more content that is world building. That would be really cool, but you're doing a great job otherwise. No, they don't say that. They say, you're not doing enough. It should be better. It should be more. You're just fucking negative fucks. Some of you. Not the vast majority. And like I said, I'm not aiming this at the vast majority, but my God, I've heard so much negative shit over the last week. Maybe it's because we're coming out of COVID, right? And COVID's left us in this negative state. And now we're coming out of it, it's like, oh, I need some other reason to be fucking miserable and make other people miserable. And the other part of this whole thing is, and again, this is just, I'm making a blanket statement. It doesn't apply to everybody. It might not apply to most people in the OSR. I know some people in the OSR have very deep pockets. They have no problem paying for new stuff. But some people in the OSR are cheap fucks, right? Everybody knows about Trove, right? Everybody goes to Trove, gets the free shit, I want my free PDFs. I don't care what you do. I don't. But don't complain about content that is free. In the case of Eric, or even this, if you got nothing to add to it, right? You can't even steal from us. We're not putting out content that has a cost on it. So just, if you're not happy, walk the fuck away. All right? You don't need to announce your departure, okay? It's not like we're at the airport. The flight going to Dallas does not need to I don't need to hear about it. That's leaving in 5 minutes. That's the last boarding call. We don't care. We really don't give a fuck. I care about my community. I like to make my community happy, but I also realize, and I've told Eric this, is that if you're pleasing everybody, you're not living in reality. Okay? It's an illusion. But not only that, if you're pleasing everybody, I can guarantee you're not pleasing yourself. As a creator, you have to find a way to please yourself. Eric creates good content. Eric creates a very enjoyable, readable blog. It takes a lot of work. I know. For years, I had multiple blog posts out. Now I do a blog post a day, and I do a cast a day. Sometimes it's a 2-hour live stream, or like this past Friday, 2.5 hours, right? It's not easy. It is certainly time consuming. And again, somebody like Eric, somebody like myself, we're not doing it for the money. Somebody like Jeff, who's putting a lot of effort into the 3rd edition, again, people that bitch and complain, that's their right to bitch and complain. But you're under no obligation to feel that you're under an obligation to make a purchase. Maybe you're a collector, right? You're annoyed to more to collect, whatever, and stop being a collector. All right. I had to get that off my chest. It was annoying me, and when I heard it, it's one thing when it gets directed at me. I want. I got you. I know you want. We all want. And we all want to be the focus of the attention, and I want the content that I want in the format that I want it. I understand that. But reality is different. Reality is you don't necessarily get what you want, but you get what you need, right? Isn't that how the song goes? You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need. Sorry. I'm sorry, man. Sorry to the people that aren't assholes, aren't rude, aren't entitled, that are stuck listening to me rant about this shit. Because it's not you, right? It's not you. And I know that I have a lot of good and happy with it. I get great voicemails and PMs. Like I said, you're more likely to get negative feedback because negative feedback is more of a drive to communicate. When you're happy, you're happy. When you're unhappy, all you want to do is bitch and be heard. Well, you know what? The unhappy ones, you've been heard. And in the case of this cast, yeah, am I putting out a blog post once a week recounting or recapping the prior week on the cast? Yes. Guess what, though? That's one blog post of content that's not going to be done otherwise because I'm not doing an additional blog post. It's taking up another blog post. That's fine. And I'm not going to be doing transcripts of these episodes. It's going to be a couple sentences, and that's it. And if you want to get the full details, gotta go to the cast. That is the way. That's what works for me. Again, it would be different if this was my job, if I was getting paid for it. But if you are a subscriber, and I hope that you do subscribe to this channel, I really enjoy what I do for you, but you're not my customers. You're my community. It's different, right? It's a different obligation. Customers, like, I pay your salary. You don't pay my salary. You don't pay Eric's salary. Okay? We don't get paid by that. We get paid by your goodwill. If you're going to give me bad will, then you're certainly not paying my salary. Certainly not paying Eric's salary. So, on that note, yeah, no. Great way to have a Sunday. On that note, we are still in the midst of COVID. I have been fully immunized. I am now walking around outdoors without a mask. People can run and hide. That's okay. I'm not passing anything on. I am not giving medical advice. I'm just going to say use your common sense. When it comes to COVID, when it comes to immunizations, use your common sense. Be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you, even the fucktards, because you probably need the blessing more than the rest of us. Knock on wood. I shall be back again tomorrow. Oh, I actually got to roll dice yesterday. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Like I said, I needed the vent. Venting over. I know. There. That was for the fucktards.